President Trump hammered home the idea that he wants to do an infrastructure bill and rebuild the country. Take a look.
Another Republican president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, initiated the last truly great national infrastructure program, the building of the interstate highway system. The time has come for a new program of national rebuilding. America has spent approximately $6 trillion in the Middle East. All the while, our infrastructure at home is crumbling. With this $6 trillion, we could have rebuilt our country twice, and maybe even 3 times if we had people who had the ability to negotiate.
Why the fuck are the Democrats not saying that? Man, this is so frustrating. You have no idea. Because it's like Steve Bannon or Trump. Well, it's probably Steve Bannon. It's like they've heard little snippets from secular talk. Like, ooh, that's a good line. Use that. And then he goes out there and uses it. And what are the Democrats doing? Russia, 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 Russia. Are we going to win? Do you guys like us yet? No, you hate us and you think we're making up arguments to try to throw mud against the wall and hope it sticks against Trump? We're so stupid. And he's up there saying, you know, we got to do an infrastructure bill. What are we waiting for? We spent $6 trillion in the Middle East. Why haven't we rebuilt our own crumbling infrastructure here at home? For fuck's sake, man. And by the way, also, the irony doesn't escape me of the fact that Republicans cheered infrastructure spending. This is something under Obama they never would have done. So they are hypocrites of the highest order. Trump says, let's spend on infrastructure. Yeah, infrastructure is wonderful. Obama has said that. You know, he may not have linked the $6 trillion in the Middle East and done, which I think is a stronger argument to bring that in, but he may not have done that part. But he said infrastructure spending before, his State of the Unions, for example, and the Republicans are like, no, we will watch the country crumble and we will love it. I love blight and destruction and despair. And also vice versa. So some of the Democrats were like, yeah, infrastructure? Yeah, okay. Infrastructure sucks. How about that? Some of them are cheering. Like Bernie Sanders cheered a lot of the parts where Trump actually made sense. But the partisanship and the hypocrisy of the parties drives me fucking crazy. But I think the main point here is this is another area where, in some ways, very narrow ways, on the issue of infrastructure and on the issue of trade, Trump has moved to the left of even many of the Democrats, definitely to the left of the corporate Democrats. And this was a big part of his victory. He couldn't have won if it wasn't for the Rust Belt, which was called the Democratic Firewall, falling and going to him. If Hillary held all the Rust Belt states, she would have won. But she didn't hold them. And she didn't hold them because she did not make these arguments, and certainly not in any convincing way. Like on the TPP, for example, on trade, Trump would speak about it every speech he gave. Hillary had tepidly came out against it when Bernie Sanders forced her to basically come out against it, and it was only like, yeah, I guess I kind of maybe disagree with it, and then she wouldn't bring it up again. Meanwhile, the record showed she pushed for 45 times before she came out against it, and she called it the gold standard of trade deals. So you weren't convincing anybody. So if Trump moves to your left on infrastructure and trade, that's enough of a dash of populism mixed with all the other establishment Republican garbage that he spews and the xenophobia and the bigotry. That was enough of a dash of populism to make it so that some people who voted for Obama twice flipped to vote for Trump. So the Democrats have nobody to blame for themselves on this front, and Trump is still continuing to do it, man. As the Democrats scream and yelp and bitch and moan about Russia and how they think Trump is a puppet to Vladimir Putin, Trump's now up there arguing to do infrastructure spending. Trump's up there arguing to stop outsourcing jobs. And then they're going to get blindsided with an anvil over the head and go, fuck, I can't believe he's got a decent chance of re-election. Ooh. I'm telling you, if they run Tim Kaine or Cory Booker, if the Democrats do, get ready for more Trump, which is not a sentence I like to say.